because this gentleman represents so many nerd genres that we all know and love. I'm gonna rattle off just a few of the plethora of film and television appearances that this gentleman has had. He was Claw in Black Panther, everybody. Let's hear it for Black Panther. He was Supreme Leader Snoke in the sequel Star Wars trilogy. Most recently, in Andor, he was Kino Loy. What a brilliant performance. Let's hear it for that. But before all that, we fell in love with him, not for his face on screen, but the faces that he created. He was King Kong. He was Caesar in Planet of the Apes. But we fell in love with him first with his brilliant performance as Gollum in The Lord of the Rings. Please welcome Andy Serkis!
Hello! Why does he sound the way he sounds? And it appeared to me that it was, he's called Gollum because that is the sound that he makes. And so, well, what could cause that? And I thought about, well, he's carrying all the pain and the guilt from his cousin, murdering his cousin, strangling his cousin, so it should be strangulated in his throat somehow. And it should be, the effect of the ring should make him kind of physically have this involuntary movement. And then my cat, Diz, came into the kitchen and started coughing up a furball.
Yeah.
And this is absolutely true, because he sat, I remember him sitting on the floor, literally as I was trying to work this thing out. It was such a moment, I can't tell you. He was sitting there, and then he started to cough up this foot, and he was going, and that then became, and that's how that started. So then it was just like, he talks like this, my precious. So that was the beginning of that, and then when we started to work on the script, and then the whole division between Smeagol and Gollum happened.
Right.
Then it was just like, well, who is Smeagol? Where does he come from? And we talked a lot about the fact that you're trying to think of a real way into a character, and so we're thinking, well, it's almost like that part of his psyche, that kind of part of his mind is like his younger brother he's manipulating, that Gollum is manipulating, and he's the stronger, more bullyish kind of elder brother, and Smeagol was more. So we started to sort of pull the voice apart, and then we wanted to meet Smeagol, seem higher and more tortured, like that. So then we could start. Then we could start to have the difference between the two voices, and then you would talk like that, and then Smeagol would be like, will you stop shouting, for goodness sakes? Most challenging role I played, because to get the physics right for that character, I had to wear very, very heavy weights on my wrists, on my ankles. I wore a weight belt around my hips. I wore, just so that every time that Kong would swing his arms, it would feel very, like it was like a wrecking ball at the end of his wrists, So that, and when we shot everything on location, and I was in a gorilla muscle suit, and to get the right eye lines, I would often be on top of cranes or ladders, or kind of very, and I'd be acting out, and I had this thing called, this piece of sound equipment called the Congolizer, which was basically, it shifted my voice into a lower register, and then we used to have these huge speakers, and so that you could hear Kong's breath, so you could literally hear, you could hear all that kind of going on, and so the actors had something very tangible to kind of feel. So when Kong roared, and I'm not going to do that now, but when he did, they really had something to respond to. But But then when we'd shot everything on location, I'd done all my emotional scenes with Naomi Watts, you know, where she could reach up, for instance, in that last scene in King Kong, I don't know if you remember, but she touches Kong's face before he dies, and then he falls off the Empire State Building. And that, all that stuff was easy to play when Naomi was there, but then I had to go back and do all of the motion capture by myself for 8 weeks straight. Filming every day with all these weights, as I say, and that physically really that cost me. But also I had to then relive all of the scenes that we'd shot months beforehand, holding a Barbie doll, which was interesting.